Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Afaq and today we are going to discuss about a very simple but important topic, that is how to read a research article. So let me confess that there is not any specific rule that everyone has to follow while reading and understanding a research article, but it actually follows the process. Uh, one approach can be quite beneficial for one, school of researchers. It may not be that much effective for other researchers. But once you follow the process, you start reading a lot of research papers. You train your brain in such a way that you are inclined to a specific approach. But I'm going to share a very generic process through which we can read a research article, and that can that can help to a lot of people if they are interested in starting their research career. So, first of all, we should understand what is a research article. It is actually a piece of writing in which scientists and researchers they share their findings. So, a huge class of research fraternity they tell their findings through research articles. So if you're going to do something new, you're going to improve any specific thing in your research area, it's quite essential that you read a lot of research papers. But reading a research paper is not enough. You have to understand it fully, because the performance of a research quality that highly depends the level of understanding we have for different research papers in that particular field. So, for a period of 4 or 5 years, I've also gone through reading and understanding research papers. So, I'm going to share my personal experience, and I hope that it can benefit a lot of young new researchers. A general format of research paper. So, it can be divided into some categories. Like we have, first of all, obviously the title of research paper, then we have abstract, which is actually a kind of trailer for a movie that you normally watch. And then we have introduction, and after that we have experimental or some other, specific term you can use, and that actually tells you that how you have manufactured or fabricated that particular device, or any specific method you have used. And then we have results and discussion. In that, because you have developed something and now you are going to check or analyze its performance, its limitations, everything you discuss in that part of result and discussion. And after that, we have conclusion. I'm going to show you some papers, and let's see how we can read those papers and what we can learn from those. So, in the very beginning, I have found one paper, and its title is All Range Flexible and Biocompatible Humidity Sensor based on PLGA and its application in human breathing for wearable health monitoring. So, from the title, you can get a lot of information. That first of all, it is going to tell us that this paper is all about a humidity sensor, means its fabrication. Another quality is that it is biocompatible, means this sensor has that feature. And second one is that this sensor has been used in wearable health monitoring application. So this title, if it attracts you, then you should go towards abstract. So I told you that abstract is actually the summary of your article. So that can give you a huge relevant information, and that can enable you whether you should decide reading that article further or not. So it tells you some quantitative and qualitative information, some fabrication techniques they have used, like you can see reverse offset printing they have used. And another thing is that they have also used a humidity controlled chamber. They have in-house designed that, and they have also used a kind of IoT approach, and some other information they have provided you. So in this abstract, you can, let's suppose that the information that you have read, it is not relevant to what you are going to do. So obviously you will move to another paper. So for example, again you can read the article, and you can see that we have this article, and it's relevant to the robotics. I can say the bio-inspired robotics. So let's just assume that we are interested only in sensors. So I will of course skip that article, and now I'm going with this article. So that's again a biocompatible strength sensor, and we have this has been used for. So let's take this paper into consideration, and you can see that this is also a sensor, soft sensor, and its application has been used for wearable as well as robotic application, and they have used a term that waterproof robotic applications. So let's suppose that we have found our topic, and this is something that relates to our research. So I can say that let's start reading this abstract. So in abstract you will see that this tells you about the summary of their entire project. Like they have made biocompatible sensor because they have used these materials into this sensor, and some other characterization they have shown, and in the end they are showing you that they have used this sensor into two prominent applications. One is health monitoring, another one is robotic monitoring. So you will see that there is a huge correlation between the abstract and the title. These two things are quite important. Another thing is, once you read the abstract, it's quite easy and interesting that you should just directly go to introduction's last paragraph. And this is a common approach. You will see that the last paragraph or introduction that normally starts with, in this paper, herein are in this project, in this research, or this research tells something like that. So something like that. So you will see that this is a kind of extension for abstract, that we explore sensing capability of a novel biocompatible ion liquid composed of potassium chloride and glycerol. And again, they have given you some quantitative findings about their research. So this further clarifies that whether this article interests you or not. And then I would suggest that directly go to the conclusion, because in conclusion it's further providing you information about the summary. Because the more you are confirmed about the possible findings, possible information in this article, then it is better to go through the entire research paper. Normally new researchers, they also make this mistake that every article they come across, they just start from title all the way to the conclusion. So sometimes I'm not saying that this reading any article without following this approach will waste your time, but we are talking about productivity and how efficiently we can perform research. So in that case, it's quite important that we should make sure that the article that we are reading, we should complete it in a limited time. And second one is so that we can create a kind of new idea where we can work on. So conclusion that further provides you information about this article. So once you are clear that yes, I should read this article, then you can go towards of course introduction, because that gives you a background, and then we experimental. In experimental, normally the authors show that how they have fabricated the sensor or device, and some basic setup that they have created, that gives you some general idea. And then we have result and discussion. So in result discussion, the detailed analysis of their work, including results, some critical observations, limitations, all the problem they have faced, everything they normally add in this portion. So this is normally the detailed and longest possible, section of a research article, and it because it explains every result, every increase or decrease in the intensity of a device or any other performance metric. So I would suggest that you start reading this section in the end once you are pretty much sure that you should read this article. So then, of course, the results are there. Every figure has that caption. You can find that information, and once you start reading that article, sometimes a lot of things are there which are not clear as a new researcher. So in that case, you should go towards introduction section, and then you can see here that we have all those references. So almost 70 to 80% references of any research article, they are normally and generally available into the introduction part, because the authors, they create a scenario as I already told, and then they also give some critical performance assessment onto the previously done work. So like in this case, I would give you some example that let's just see over here the liquid metal. So the soft flexible sensor, they have also been used in using liquid metals. So these are two references. So because this article that we are studying, that is about ionic liquid material. So what if you are interested in liquid metals, or you are interested in if we are using any liquid metal into a flexible strength sensor, then what can be its performance? How does it behave? What are possible applications of those type of devices? So you can directly move towards the reference, and you can see, and of course you can download or read this article and further enhance your information. So this was a quick discussion about how is reading article, but I just want to mention it again that this is not the method which everybody has to follow. It varies from person to person, but this is my approach how I read the article, because you will see thousands and millions of research articles on single topic on internet. So obviously we cannot read all those articles. So how we can specifically target those articles so that we can start our research work, that's quite important. So that's it from my side. If you have any questions or discussions, you're more than welcome to discuss with me, and my contact details, they are given in the description. Thank you so much.